Let's let the sound of this next bell take us to the deepest place within us. Namaste, friends. I'd like to introduce our musicians for today. We have the What Else Is Possible choir led by Jimmy Townsend. And I believe they would love to have us stand for our first couple of songs, and the lyrics will be on the screen over to your left.
One, two, two. One, two, three. Meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and time. Oh, what fun it is to be with community. I cry. Meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and time. Thank you, God, for awakening with my spirit now alive. Every morning, so happy to be alive. God is everywhere I am, and spirit so alive. Sunshine makes me smile. Everyone's my friend. I help them learn they're fortunate by giving him a hand. Whoa! Meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and time. Oh, what fun it is to be with community. I cry. Hey! Meditate, pray a while, study, serve, and time. Thank you, God, for awakening with my spirit's now alive. Thank you, God, for awakening with my spirit now alive. Change your life, change your thinking, no more struggle, not winking. It's a glorious day, whatever you say. I'm healthy, whole, complete, 'cause all is well. God is good, you're alive, 24/7, 365. You're prosperously living in clean, healthy, whole, complete, 'cause all is well. When you're down and good at home and cry, come to church and join us for a while. Listen to the music and the message. Before you know it, you will wear a smile. Later on, do your day, take a walk, go out and play. How happy you'll be, totally free, healthy, whole, complete, 'cause all is well. You are healthy, whole, complete, 'cause all is well.
Woohoo! All right. Thank you so much. Friends, while you're on your feet, please turn to one another and offer the Namaste greeting. Namaste to our musicians, choir, Jimmy, namaste. Namaste. Namaste to our tech team in the back. We see you. Thank you. Namaste, Jen. Namaste to our love streamers. I'm so glad you joined us this morning. And as you take your seat, please take a moment to silence your cell phones or put them on vibrate. Namaste, beloveds. I'm Reverend Elizabeth Rowley Hogue, and I am the spiritual leader here. I use she, her gender pronouns, and the land upon which we gather is the unceded territory of the Chumash and Salinan people. It is my joy to welcome you to the Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. We exist to raise the vibe, and we envision a joyful, happy world. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. We have been waiting for you. We have an affirmation for today, and I invite you to please repeat after me. I am safe.
I am safe.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am loved.
I am loved.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Wonderful. And our practitioner for the day, Reverend Delon Richenberg, is going to make his way up to offer the opening prayer and Science of Mind reading. And while he gets prepared for that, I'm going to call your attention to the salmon-colored sheet that was in your program that you picked up on the way into the sanctuary here this morning. This is the prayer request form. We are a community who loves to pray, and the invitation is for you, whether there is something weighing heavy on your heart for which you would like prayer for, or maybe you're looking to manifest something in your life like a new job or a new place to live or a relationship, whatever that is, we invite you to fill out this form, and you can place it in the offering basket when it comes around, or you can take it over and place it in the prayer request box over to my left here after the service. There are also more forms available over here in case you would like to ask for more prayers. There's not too many, you can ask for as much prayer as you would like to, and our soul support team will pray over these prayers for you for the next week. How awesome is that? Now, if you come up with something that you would like prayer for during the week, you can email us at info@awakeningways.org and put in the subject line prayer request and then type up what you're seeking prayer for. And that will get forwarded to our soul support team. That's a service that we love to provide for you here. Now, also after the service, Reverend Delon will be available in the foyer for 1-minute miracles. There is nothing too small or too large, right? There's no, if you're just wanting to celebrate how great your life is, get a prayer with Reverend Delon. If you really have something heavy on your heart, or you're manifesting something and you would like a little bit of extra support and love, we're here for you. This is what we love to do. So he'll be out there ready to pray. Right, Delon? Yes, all right. And now we also have Reverend Susan here in the front row holding the high watch for us. She's holding space for the service, knowing that the message comes through and that everyone receives exactly what is needed. And now I'll turn it over to Reverend Delon. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. I have a reading from 365, Ernest Holmes. This is a little consolidation of today's message. If you would, just settle in and maybe close your eyes and just take these words in so that you just absorb what's being said here. Spiritual intuition tells us that beauty is at the root of everything. Ugliness is its supposed opposite. But we must sense not the opposite, but the reality. It is this divine presence we are to recognize. For every apparent opposite, we are to supply a realization of the truth about that opposite. And so everything that I do, say, or think today will be done, said, and thought from the spiritual viewpoint of God in everything. And so I just know that God is in everything, through everything, and as everything. And I know that I am that is exactly what I am springing forth from, that one divine source. And I know that this morning, this service is springing forth from that divine source, new and fresh and vibrant and clear. And I know that the music this morning awakens us. It sparks that something that lets us remember our divine nature. And that in the talk this morning, in the message, and in the connection that we experience, that we are each reminded of our divine being. And I give thanks for that. I give thanks knowing that each one here is uplifted and filled with joy, with peace, and with that vibrant energy of the light season, the season where we light up the darkness. And I release my word into the law, knowing that Spirit just says, of course, well done. And we say together, and so it is.
Are you ready to rock? Yeah! Are you ready to rock? Yeah! Where are we going to rock? Around the Christmas tree.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Rocking around the Christmas tree, let the Christmas spirit free. Later we'll have some pumpkin pie and we'll do some caroling. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear the voices singing, let's be jolly, deck the walls with balls of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, live a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way. Balls of holly, rocking around the Christmas tree, have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
Woohoo! Wow. All right. That was amazing. Let's give them some more love. You all are amazing. The What Else Is Possible Choir, led by Jimmy Townsend. Woohoo! Hello, beloveds. Yeah. Awesome. It's so great to be here with you today. What a blessing. Life is amazing if we're just paying attention, isn't it? Yes. Yes, yes. All right, so welcome to December 14th. This month is totally flying by. We're talking about communication, and this month is really all about the way that we communicate with one another. And the intention for the month is to set us up powerfully to create some overarching agreements within the community, our spiritual family here for 2026. And these would be agreements that allow us all to get our needs met with kindness and compassion for ourselves and each other without leaving a trail of dead bodies behind us. Right? It's a wonderful month of opportunity to get vulnerable with ourselves and look at how we've been shaped by culture, our families, wounding, and temperament to communicate differently and see that, we can actually bring our conscious awareness into this and do a little bit better with ourselves and each other. And so we use curiosity as our guide, right? We're not talking about, you're bad, you're wrong, but it's like, I notice how I'm behaving in a particular way or communicating in a particular way. And our Book of the Month author, Marshall Rosenberg of Nonviolent Communication, which is our Book of the Month, he talks about jackal language and giraffe language, which is so beautiful, and how we can translate from the jackal language into giraffe language to get to that deeper place within us, and recognize that we have needs that we want to have met, right? And so I'm going to talk more about those two in a few minutes. But I was reminded in my preparation for this talk how Spirit is always guiding me into what to speak about on Sundays. And it's one of my most favorite things to do because it really has me look deeply into my own experience of self-discovery for healing and growth. And there's no difference between you and I. The main difference is that I'm up here growing in public, right? I'm sharing my own peaks and pits, as they say, and how I've used our teaching to grow along the way. And that's really what it's all about. And so I was thinking about family and wounding, and a whole thing came up for me that I'm going to get vulnerable about and share with you. So I'm constantly working on my communication style, and this topic really had me ponder the family structure that I grew up with. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my parents very much. They did the best they could, we'll just say that. Right, and that's great, right? And my mom and dad were constantly yelling at each other when I grew up. Now, they were together for over 50 years, and so they were high school sweethearts. And this is how they communicated. And they were very clear. Like, if you were to mention something to them about, could you be a little more gentle? Maybe be a little softer, like you guys really love each other, right? They would get mad and yell some more about this is how they were, and it's who they were, and that's just the way it was. And so as a result, I ended up internalizing this behavior, right? The way that they spoke to each other. And what that did for me on an unconscious or subconscious level was created some anxiety. You can imagine, right? Did anybody else have this experience growing up? No, some. Oh, I bet. Yes, all the way. Me, right? So in my late 20s, I was having panic attacks, and then they diagnosed me with generalized anxiety disorder. I was prescribed Paxil to relieve the anxiety, and they also suggested I practice meditation. And that was the beginning of my spiritual journey, honestly, because I was into it. And so then in my early 30s, I found Science of Mind at that little center on Clark Street, CSL San Jose, which is where I started to learn about conditioning and how we are taught to behave in certain ways, and we learn our behaviors from society, from our family structures, from the communities, from our schools and the groups we belong to. And I was blown away. It was like, oh. And I also went all in on meditation. And I eventually got off of the Paxil and continued to unlearn or recondition or reprogram myself. I realized that the anxiety was something that they were generating. It was theirs, not mine. I picked it up because I was a kid and I didn't know, it's just coming in on an unconscious level, right? But when I discovered this, it was like, oh, I'm free. I realize now I'm free to create my way of being in the world. I get to choose what I believe, and I don't have to be anxious. In fact, there's really nothing for me to be anxious about. And so the good news, my friends, that I want you to hear today is that the same is true for each one of you. Meaning, at any time, you can choose to change your entire life by changing your mind. That's what that means. And you'll go one BS at a time. BS meaning belief system, right? One at a time. And so I'm here to remind you that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not selfish. You're not lazy. You're not fat. You're not too thin. You're not a big mouth, a crybaby. You're not a bully or original sin. That's from a Jamie Lula song. And by the way, to say you're not original sin means that you are not inherently guilty or wholly defined by an inborn sinful nature. That's not what we believe here. We believe that you are perfect exactly as you are, and God wouldn't change one thing about you, God being your highest innermost self with a capital S. And the invitation is for us to try that on for a week. God loves me exactly as I am, and it wouldn't change one thing about me. And so, friends, that's a part of my story. From growing up in a home where yelling was just how we communicated, to carrying that wounding into anxiety and panic attacks in the way that I moved through the world, into discovering the science of mind, recognizing that those patterns were not mine to keep, I learned that I could unlearn them, reprogram my mind, and step into freedom by changing one part of my belief system at a time. And we can all do this. So remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not inherently broken or guilty. You are perfect exactly as you are. And God, meaning your highest, innermost self with a capital S, wouldn't change one thing about you. And I remembered, that most of our spiritual growth is about unlearning what we have learned so that we can truly be all that we came here to be, which is our true selves underneath all those layers of conditioning. Are y'all with me? Yeah, right? And so try that on this week. Really try it on and see how that feels. I'm perfect exactly as I am. And God wouldn't change one thing about me. Because when we truly release that old wounding and embrace the truth, we each become free to create the life that we're meant to live. And that freedom opens up the door to what I want to talk about next. I'm going to talk about perspectives for a moment, since our topic today is communication styles. And I have a volunteer, Reverend Delon. I'm going to invite you to come up right here. And can I have one more volunteer who's willing to work with Delon? Okay, come on up. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Let's give her some love. Yeah. Yay! All right. You can come on up here. All right. So here are the instructions. I am going to... Well, today, friends, we're going to look at how two people can see or be looking at the exact same thing, but describe it very differently, and both be right. And so here you go. Now, without touching or moving this, I'm going to invite you to describe the mug that you're looking at as you can see it, only what you can see. I'm going to invite Diane to do this first.
I see that it's blue, and there's a handle, and there's an M on that side and a T on that side.
All right, great. I should be using the microphone. Where's the mic? We all had the same thought at once. There's only one mind.
Do it again. Okay, I see that it is.
Wait, speak into the mic.
I see that it is blue. I see it has a handle. I see there's an M on the right side and a T on the left side.
Wow, interesting. Okay, and then what do you see, Reverend Delon?
I see a blue mug that from here, it looks like it says Pest Man.
Anything else that you see? Only what you can see.
Well, I can see your hand.
Okay.
And your
Let's
fingernails.
focus on the mug.
The mug, okay. Yeah, it's a blue mug.
I like how you expand your awareness, though. It's a blue mug.
Yep.
Well, she's saying there's a handle. Is that?
I don't see a handle. There's no handle on my side.
And what do you? Okay. Is there a handle?
Yes, right there.
But you don't see the handle.
Nope.
Whoa. What do you think? She's really seeing a handle, or what?
I have to believe her, or at least be curious about that.
All right. Well, he doesn't see a handle. How do you feel about that?
Well, that's too bad.
All right. Let's give them some love. Thanks, Delon. That's awesome. So, who do you think was right? Right, exactly. And so, isn't it funny, right? We all have limited perspectives. We see according to our own perspective. And another call to action for us this week is to actually this week, remember this mug when you're in conversations with people, and if anybody has a different perspective than you, remember the mug, listen, and seek the full view. And perhaps you can take a step around and look at the other side of the mug and see how that experience lands for you. You know, because it's not just about what we're seeing on the mug, it's about how we communicate and how we talk about what we see. And so in our relationships, at work, in spiritual community, we all have a communication style based on our side of the table. One person might be bold and direct, and another might stay quiet and not mention what's missing. But if we're able to just move around and see the different perspectives, I think we'll come to a place where we can truly have compassion for ourselves and for others in our spiritual family, because it's like we get curious about it, right? And recognize there's multiple perspectives here, and learning about, oh, well, that's interesting that you see that. And then you come over and understand where you're coming from. Are you with me? It's actually a beautiful thing. So in spiritual community, our higher selves, our highest selves, are calling us to communicate with love and understanding, which is to turn the mug, you know? When you're just seeing this, to turn the mug and go, oh, wow. It's a gentle and beautiful thing, isn't it? Yeah. We ask questions, we listen, and we keep moving forward. And so, where can you turn the mug this week in your own life? Where can you turn the mug? Ernest Holmes observed, "We cannot live in another's life, nor can another live in ours. Each must walk their own path." That's from The Science of Mind, page 317. And that's a gentle reminder for us that says, my way is not the only way, or my perspective is not the only perspective. And that leads me into the jackal and the giraffe. The moment you've all been waiting for. Now, I first want to recognize our beloved Reverend Susan, who did the talk last week and introduced nonviolent communication for us. She was awesome, right? Yeah. I listened to her talk, and it was right on, spot on. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for Reverend Susan and for kicking this month off fabulously. And so jackal language, my friends, is any way of thinking or speaking that includes, you're going to want to lean in for this, moralistic judgments, such as, you're selfish, you're lazy, you're wrong, you're rude. Labels and diagnoses, that's an interesting one, like, oh, he's a narcissist, or she's too sensitive. And then there's blame and criticism. You always, you never, or you make me feel. And demands disguised as requests. You have to, you should, you need to, he has to, he should, he needs to. Or denial of responsibility. I have to do this because you fill in the blank. And then there's comparison. Why can't you be more like fill in the blank? And then there's reward and punishment thinking. If you don't blank, then blank will happen. I can see you all are really receiving these well. You're like, wow. Okay, so in short, jackal language is life-alienating communication. It comes from a place of seeing the world in terms of right and wrong, good or bad. Who deserves blame or punishment? It's the voice of the inner or outer judge, protector, or fixer. Now, we've talked before, I've spoken before, and actually a lot in this community around judgment and when we're judging others, how we are not having room to love others because we're in judgment, or when we're analyzing, we're not in that heart space, and it's actually a protective energy, a protective strategy that we use to keep ourselves separate. But this is a spiritual community. If you look around, everyone here, we're all about love. There's so much love. And I know that people often say that when they come in the doors, they feel that love. And as they walk into this room, which we are creating as our sanctuary, our sacred space where we get to be in spiritual community together in a space of love and safety and connection and belonging, that we feel that, right? And so on page 50 in our book of the month, Marshall Rosenberg observed, judgments of others, this is a big one, judgments of others are alienated expressions of our own unmet needs. Well, that takes all the fun out of judging, if you ask me. This quote means that when we criticize, label, or judge someone, like calling them lazy, selfish, irresponsible, or whatever, we're not truly describing them objectively. Instead, we're indirectly revealing our own frustrated feelings that are stemming from personal needs that we have that are not being fulfilled. Definitely takes the fun out of judging. So alienated refers to a disconnected or distorted way of expressing those needs. So in other words, we're actually projecting our needs outward as blame or moralistic judgment rather than owning them inwardly and communicating them clearly. Rosenberg calls this life-alienating communication because what it does is create separation. It creates conflict and misunderstanding instead of connection, which is what we truly and deeply hunger for, you know? Raise your hand if you hunger deeply for connection. Right? Yes. I personally would like to experience more oneness, peace, and harmony in my life, so I'm committed to this work. I'm not perfect. I know there are times when I get in the judgy mode. And then our goal is to get into giraffe language. Now, Marshall Rosenberg describes that giraffe language as the same 4 steps that Reverend Susan shared with us last Sunday. Observation, pure observation. I'm noticing with no evaluation mixed in. That alone is like a month challenge. I'm not evaluating, I'm just saying. And then number 2, feeling words. So there's observation, I notice, I'm observing, and I'm feeling like I'm feeling sad or scared or disconnected or joyful. We can try these in the positive too, right? And number 3 is universal need. So expressing what it is that we need. I need connection, autonomy, respect, or play. And number 4 is we make a request. It's a clear, present, doable request, not a demand, but a request. And so when we hear jackal in ourselves or someone else, that jackal language, the self-talk or speaking to others or thinking about another, nonviolent communication invites us to translate it back into giraffe, to actually turn the mug, right? And guess the feelings, you know? Try to see the feelings and needs that are hiding underneath the jackal words. That's such a powerful, that's a superpower. Like for me, that's a superpower if I can totally accomplish this, because that will have us be more present to love rather than reacting defensively or attacking back out of defense, right? Because that's what happens. So in my 30s, I actually had a friend who, whenever I shared good news, like a promotion or a fun trip, she would respond with something like, "Well, that must be nice. Some of us are stuck dealing with real problems." And it felt dismissive to me, even jealous, right? And my inner jackal wanted to fire back, "Why can't you just be happy for me?" But I knew her history. You see, she had grown up in a family where success was downplayed to avoid getting too big for your britches. And she'd faced some deep disappointments in her career that left wounds around feeling less than. So her sharp words were actually a protective strategy, a jackal language, masking a need for equality, support, or reassurance that our friendship wasn't threatened by my good fortune. So one day, instead of defending myself, I got curious. When I share my excitement and you respond that way, I'm guessing you're feeling frustrated or overlooked. Is there a need for us to celebrate together or feel on equal footing? And she paused and teared up and said, yes. She was actually scared that my successes meant that I would drift away and the friendship would dissolve. So translating her jackal into needs opened that door. And we ended up supporting each other from there on more honestly. And it taught me to look at my own inner jackal too. My defensiveness came from my own fears of rejection. So protective jackal strategies refer to the ways we communicate whenever we're feeling triggered, vulnerable, or disconnected, often sounding like criticism, blame, judgment, demands, or defensiveness. The term jackal comes from nonviolent communication and contrasted with giraffe. And did you know, by the way, that the giraffe has the biggest heart of all land mammals and sticks its neck out, which symbolizes heartfelt, vulnerable honesty? Yeah. So, by the way, as we begin to notice the jackal within us, the jackal strategies, remember, they're not bad. They don't make us bad. They're not malicious. They're protective strategies. They're habits that we learned. Usually we learn this type of habit early in life to try to meet our own needs for safety, connection, respect, or understanding when we didn't know or didn't have access to a more direct or vulnerable way. And so the practice is to look at that. Whenever that jackal comes up, this week, say, "Hello, little jackal," and gently translate the feeling into giraffe. That's the heart of transformation this week, my friends, to transform the jackal thoughts and words into giraffe. So to wrap it up this morning, communication is a way in which we connect with one another. It's communion. It fosters our sense of belonging, which is so important for us and so important in spiritual community. It helps us to feel seen and valued. And each one of us has an inherent need to feel seen and valued, myself included. Now, the invitation is, let's get hyped about doing this amazing work together for this month. It's so perfect for December as we go into our family structures and they try to put us back into those little roles that we had in other times of our lives. But let's get hyped about this because we're setting the stage for creating powerful community agreements for 2026. And so the invitation is for us to move forward as a stand for each other. Can we be a stand for one another? I'll be a stand for you, and let's be a stand for each other. That means supporting one another. When someone goes into jackal language, we help them see with compassion, right? By the way, we had the White Tara event, White Tara Empowerment event at the center yesterday. And it was powerful. And so this morning I was really feeling a lot more loving and gentle. And it's this gentleness that is with me that has really stayed. And so I'm carrying that forward through the rest of this month and into 2026, which is really compassion. White Tara is the compassion Tara. And so I'm feeling that. And anyway, there's verbal communication and nonverbal communication. I need to work on my poker face. How about any of you? Anybody need to work on your poker face? Right? People know exactly how you feel. And they don't always need that, right? Especially my husband. By the way, Travis is at home today. He's been taking care of our little Yorkie at night, and she's on the road to recovery from a spinal stroke. And I know. And so there's been some late nights and putting her in the crate, which she wants to be with us. And so he loves you all and sends his love. And we're sending him love. If you're watching, we love you. Yeah. Even if you're not watching, we still love you. But he's looking forward to seeing everyone this week on Thursday for our holiday program. All right, so there's verbal communication and nonverbal communication, and in spiritual community, we see it. We feel it. Most of us are empaths, and we can feel it. And the invitation is for us to move forward for the rest of this month and into 26 as a stand for each other. We're a spiritual family, and this is our chosen family. We're awake, aware, and anchored in love. And I recognize that I choose to be with you. I choose to be in this family, and you all choose to be here in this family too. Thank you for choosing Awakening Ways Center for Spiritual Living. Yeah, thank you. You are loved. Now, our spiritual practice for this week is twofold. Number one, notice those jackal thoughts or words that arise, smile and say, hello, little jackal, and then gently translate them into giraffe. Remember, that's the heart of transformation, and it's practice, practice, practice. Number two, we're going to keep it fun and light on the second one because I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, as Tom will attest to, and I got to have a little fun. And so this one is look for giraffes. Look for giraffes. Photos, shirts, anywhere so you see a giraffe somewhere. And now that giraffe is in your awareness, you're going to see giraffes everywhere. I'm telling you, this is how it works. And so as you see the giraffe, the invitation is to remember the work that we're doing here in this spiritual community that is like a ripple effect outward. Everything that happens here is carried out into the world, and it's a beautiful thing. Remember the work we're doing here, and which is learning how to communicate with one another with a set of established agreements from a place of love, which is so beautiful. And contemplate the fact that the giraffe is the land animal with the largest heart and a long neck, so that it sticks its neck out with honesty while still seeing the big picture. Lastly, when you see those giraffes, once again, please share it with someone else in this community. I so love getting these text messages. I got videos of prisms from the last talk back in November 30th. Videos of prisms, people catching, someone caught, prism in their turkey slice. That was neat. I was like, wow, that's original. And there were just so many, and it was fun. And it's like, we're doing this thing together. And so we have this sharing of the experience. It's powerful, and it keeps each other on topic, right, as we go through the week together. So I really love that. And so it's time to wrap this up. So I'm going to invite the musicians to come on in and get up and prepare for our closing music, our closing song here. And as they do, I'm going to invite you to get into prayer pose, which is, put anything down that you have in your lap. Maybe you need to scratch your nose. You can scratch your nose. Do what we call the religious science shuffle. Shake your hands, shake your legs. Scratch the top of your head. Stretch a little. It is nice and toasty in here, isn't it? Yeah, cozy. And join me in turning your attention inward. The invitation is to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you to do so. Otherwise, you can rest your gaze gently a few inches in front of you or a few feet, if that works better for you. And join me in this space of the divine. And it's been here the whole time. We're being consciously aware of this space right now. And it is in this place within me that I remember with every fiber of my being that spirit is all that there is, and it is all that there ever will be, and it is here right now, expressing itself in as and through me, in as and through each individual. The entire manifest universe is the body of spirit. And I'm so grateful to remember this truth, because as I do, I remember that there is no separation. The only way I can be separate is in my thought. And I now know, recognize, and understand, and this is true for all, that the deepest place within me doesn't want to be separate. From the deepest place within me, there's a universal need and desire to have the experience of belonging and connection, love, acceptance. And I know that all that is true for me right now. And that, yes, the spiritual truth is always that we have that within ourselves, whole, perfect, complete, the I am that I am. And as we are in spiritual community with one another, we're peopling, and we people together with so much love, because I am claiming that to be how it works going forward from here. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the connection, the experience of love from each person here, and that exchange of beautiful energy. There is no room for separation. There's no room for divisiveness or any of that, because this is my chosen spiritual family, and each one of us has come here to experience this wholeness and love that I feel right now. I'm so grateful for this and so thankful, and I know that as I go forward from here, I experience a giraffe, and I see giraffes, and I get to access the giraffe language within me, which is so beautiful. And I am forever changed because of it. And so with great gratitude, I release my word into the loving and creative action of the law, where I know it is so, and so it is. Thank you.
To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything. and a time for every purpose under
Wow. What a perfect song. Woo! Thank you. I love it. Love, love, love. All right, my friends, it's now time for our conscious giving. Will our ushers please come forward? And you can come up right here in the middle. And friends, while they make their way up, well, let's give them some love. We've got Jen and BJ, volunteers for today. Thank you so much for being in service to our community. And I'm also feeling a lot of gratitude for our Hearts and Hands team. I think I saw Sheila back there setting it up. We're so grateful for all of that love. Was that you, Sheila? Wonderful. Let's give her some love. That's a lot of work. And the whole team. So grateful. There's some great food back there for us. All right. So we do have a giving affirmation, friends. If this service has inspired you in any way, I invite you to consider making a donation to our community that will help fund our operating expenses budget. And if you're tuning in on the Love Stream, you can go to paypal.me/awakeningways and make your donation there. Or you can mail us a check at the address is on the website. I'm not going to go into that. And if you forgot to bring your checkbook or wallet or whatever, hey, guess what? We have a QR code on the back of our program that you can scan with your smartphone and make your donation that way. All right, so now I invite you to take your gift and place it over your heart, or you can take your hand and place it over your heart. And please repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
So we just give thanks for this divine circulation that we are all a part of. We know that this money is just the divine in action, just as love and peace and prosperity and joy and the goodness of this season. I'm so thankful for this community. I'm so thankful for each and every soul present here today. And I release that into the law, knowing that it's true, knowing that it's so. Together we say, and so it is.
All right, and now we're going to have our announcements angel for today. Come on up, friends. Today we have Tom Shaw. Woo! Thank you, Tom. Whoa, take it easy.
Good morning, fellow metaphysicians. I hope this beautiful Sunday morning greets you on your individual journey of self-development. Each week we get to be together in fellowship, sharing time and a piece of ourselves with each other. I personally consider it a gift, and I'm grateful to each of you for sharing a piece of yourselves. I hope you're all enjoying your holiday season. Let's check in on our busy little elves and see what they have put together for us. In case you were wondering, today is the day for the raffle drawing. If you haven't brought your raffle tickets yet, you still get an opportunity because we're going to be pulling the winning tickets at 11:30. You do not need to be present to collect your winning basket, but you do need your ticket if you did not put a name on the one that you put in the jar. I don't see Reverend Diane. Is she here? There she is. Please join Reverend Diane Davison for Tuesday's weekly gathering created for anyone experiencing grief this holiday season. This offering of love and compassion is being held on Tuesdays during the month of December from 12 noon to 1 p.m. at our center. And we are so fortunate to have this gift of wisdom and love from Reverend Diane. In case you missed last week, I'd like to invite Reverend DeLon to come up and tell you about his meditation lab he's starting this Tuesday.
I'm just up and down and up and down and up and down. So meditation lab, it's going to be January, February, and March. We're going to meet once a week, but we're going to meditate every day for 10 minutes. We're not going to go into a cave for 30 years. We're not going to go on a 10-day silent retreat. We're going to meditate for 10 minutes a day. And by the end of that 3 months, we're going to be loving it. We're going to develop a great joy for that simple reset. Someone really wiser than me said, everything seems to work better if you unplug it once in a while, including us. So that's what it's about. We have room for 4 or 5 more people, so please come and sign up. It's going to be fun. Thanks.
I am joining because I always feel better when I meditate, and I need to be more capable. I go 7 or 10 days and then skip a day. Okay, there's been a date change for our serving the meal at Echo this month. Instead of Thursday, December 18th, we'll be serving dinner on Sunday, December 28th at 4:30 p.m. Please be sure to update your calendars, and there's an availability sign-up sheet in the back for this loving gesture. It's on the book table. This Thursday, December 18th, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. is our annual candle lighting service, and it says desert potluck. So we're going to have cacti-themed potluck, or perhaps another S would make that a dessert potluck. And there is a sign-up sheet in the back for desserts. You can bring loved ones and friends for this beautiful evening celebrating light, love, and fellowship. We're also going to close out the year and begin 2026 with our annual Burning Bowl ceremony on Sunday, December 28th. And to give us a little more detail on that, we've got Reverend Elizabeth.
Thank you. All right, so I was asked to talk a little bit about the Burning Bowl ceremony. So every year we have an opportunity, to come together as a community and think about, there's a meditation that I'll guide you through, and think about what it is you want to release and what you want to leave it in 2025 and never visit it again and move into 2026 with an empowered, beautiful intention. And we do our intention letter writing the first service in January. And so this last Sunday, we're going to I have some magic paper. It's the paper that magicians use, and so you write it, and then it's really fun. We put them all together, and it goes up in a big flame and disappears back into the nothingness from whence it came. And so these little rituals are so powerful, and it's an opportunity for us. Again, we'll write it down and then watch it just be gone, just like that. So please join us for that. Thank you.
Please make sure you take home the December purple page And visit the back tables and make sure you're signed up for the events and weekly emails so you don't miss out on any of our wonderful community fellowship opportunities. You can also share our events with others by taking some of those small half-sheet flyers and posting them at your favorite coffee shop or gathering places to help spread the word on all the good we're up to here. So grab a few at the back tables. As Reverend said, our book of the month is Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. It's only $15. And we've got our November and December Science of Mind magazine, which is only a paltry $12. So lastly, please join me in giving a big shout out to all of our volunteers and staff that make all of this possible.
Woohoo! All right. Thank you. And some love to Tom. Woohoo! Good job. You have fans, Tom. You have fans. All right, friends, let's circle up for our benediction and call and response. What? Oh, we're good. Let's go back a little bit so we don't exclude them. Awesome. Yeah, there we go. What? Don't lift my arm. Oh, right. Thank you for reminding me. I'm just going to hold my hand right here. All right, my friends, won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always, and all that we ever need do is turn within, and it is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. Joyously let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in my pocketbook. Life is in my relationships. Life is everywhere. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I express it. I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.
Thank you, Lord.
Woo!
May I be filled. To everything